What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. We are SUBTO Mastermind. Huh? Hi. Sorry, my daughter's asking me. Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our Friday Mastermind with SUBTO leaders. Meet my daughter, Sunday Jones. You have to be a little taller, kiddo. Anyways, just waiting for a couple of other people to show up and getting all the kids coming in. This one's looking at you. She's looking at you.
All eyes on you.
Anyways, actually, we haven't done a video or a live in about a month. We just had, everybody's been busy in one way or the other. I know Carly's been traveling. Mike and Don have been like developing software stuff. Yeah, everybody's just been either traveling or really, really busy. Hey, this is my show, little girl. Anyways, yeah, well, glad to see everybody show up. Thank you so much. We typically get on every Friday, and we'd love to just chat with you, talk to you about what's going on in our business, help you out with your business. Here's Mike. Yeah, Mike.
What's up, guys? Oh, Myron, how's it going?
Yo.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's just me right now.
Well, no, it's not just you. The girls too.
And little Sunday. She says hi.
Hi. Hi.
Look at his lighting. It's so cool.
I'm working on it a little bit, you know?
I love it.
Work in progress. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're staying busy. We're keeping it rolling.
What would you say that you're busiest with right now? What would you say takes up the majority of your time?
I've spent a lot of time running support for LOI Blaster. Between the Facebook group and the emails coming in, just people asking. Sometimes people ask a question in support in the email, and then they'll go to the Facebook question and tag me and also ask me there. So I have to respond in two places sometimes. But what I'm really, really pushing hard on support, because I want people to know, because I care, right? But like, I want to give them like upper level support. Like, I'll do video walkthroughs just from an email. Okay. So I want it to be more personalized. And then further developments, right? So developing out future projects and stuff like that. That's been a lot of what we're doing right now.
Would you say that a lot of the issues that everyone's having, or some people are having, is a better way to say it, have been addressed, and they would have like a knowledge base, for example, to access?
Yes, we have. I think now we have about 30 hours worth of video inside of Kajabi. It might be more than that. And they'll ask a question where's the video, right? So they don't even want to go look at Kajabi, just like scrolling. And I'm not complaining. It's just the nature of the beast type of thing. And so, yes, like, how do I change my email on file when there's a video that says how to change your email on file? Walk step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not even that many steps, but
yeah.
So yeah,
it's always interesting. You can never really predict. You can predict some of the issues, right, that some people are going to have, and then I would imagine the first couple of weeks you're finding out other things that are popping up that maybe you just didn't even consider.
Yes.
At all.
Like, I've never had a Google email. How do I use a Google document? Right? How do I use a Google sheet? I'm like, wow, I thought everybody had Google. Like, I thought everybody gave up Hotmail 20 years ago.
I still have
AOL.
Hotmail.
You still have a Hotmail?
I do. Yeah.
Do you use it?
It's my primary personal one. All my business ones are Gmail, through Google Workspace. But yeah, I remember back when Hotmail, they decided to charge on a monthly basis. This was in 1996 or 7 or something like that. And I was like, oh, do I really want to pay $2 for email? But anyway, no, I'm a longtime user of Hotmail.
Yeah.
But
I have a Hotmail,
100%.
but I abandoned it. I have a Hotmail, Yahoo, AOL, but they're probably shut down by now.
Isn't it crazy though how it's almost nerve-wracking to cancel a service that you've had forever?
Yes.
You kind of wonder who has this contact info.
Yeah, but moving from Hotmail to Gmail, because it was exactly the same, just Myron Bradley 1 at Gmail, Myron Bradley 1 at Hotmail. I just started putting that in there. But I'm like, I wonder if anybody maybe tried to send me money through Hotmail, right?
You could have a Nigerian prince trying to send you all the money in the world,
and I'll miss out,
and you can't get it. And all he needs is $100 sent to him today.
Yeah, which I have. I have $100 today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I know some of the stuff you're up to, but what do you got going on that you want to talk about? Will you shut this door, please?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that how we had a group chat and everyone was like, yeah, let's hop on Friday at 3:00 Central Time. And it's just the two of us. That's what I want to bring up real fast before everyone shows up. I'm kind of curious to pick your brain a little bit because you're working with a lot of people through the Honeybee Challenge and through the LOI Blaster. And I'm kind of curious what you are hearing. So give you some background. I have been contacted by probably 10 or so people looking for help on closing deals. And, people are in various stages of the deal, right? Whether it's just someone saying I'm interested or whether someone's actually just looking for information. But I'm curious what you're hearing in mass, just because you're talking to more people about, low equity deals.
And what subject are you talking about? Deals coming through or what?
Probably more specifically, I'm curious what would you say your LOI Blaster clientele is, sub 2 versus non-sub 2?
Mainly non-sub 2.
Okay. Pretty heavily, or is it like 60-40?
I would say 70% are brand new people.
Uh-huh.
Now they may be on their way to signing up for sub 2, but mainly just brand new people. Yeah.
So if they're not sub 2, there's clearly a knowledge gap there, right? There's probably not the experience of completing a subject to transaction. Probably.
Absolutely.
So what big questions are you hearing from people, if any at all, about, a low equity sub 2 deal?
Inside of the LOI Blaster group?
Yeah.
I made it pretty crystal clear that this will not be about negotiations. This will just be about finding leads. So it's the questions that I demand are, hey, this needs to be about the program. Okay, don't ask me how to negotiate. Don't ask me, don't bring, because what will happen is that's what it will become. They'll come into the Q&A and ask for like a negotiations Q&A, and I'm not going to do that. Hey, if you're going to use that, you'll have to leave, okay?
So I'm curious to pick your brain on that a little bit, because you do have experience closing low equity deals, a lot of it. So when it comes to negotiating a low equity sub 2 deal, I'm trying to think back. I can't remember a time when there's really been negotiation back and forth, right? Other than someone saying, hey, the sellers are willing to do it, but they might need a couple $1,000s more cash in their pocket.
Right.
What other, have you experienced any other negotiating issues or things that come up that are pretty consistent across the board that agents or sellers are looking for in a negotiation?
What happens if you stop paying? Just like information. It's just information based. Yeah.
Right.
It could be, to me, it's just a credibility game. Who's the most credible? Who's going to give the most money? Right.
And those are two different things sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes they're willing to go with the more credible buyer versus who's going to pay the most, but not always. But what I'm getting in LOI Blaster is people are saying, I sent this to the agent is saying, I sent this to my seller and it's rejected. And if you're brand new to the real estate game and you haven't got to your 500th no, then it's pretty, what's the word? It puts you down. Like this thing, oh man, this thing doesn't work. Right. And it's a quick lesson in the world of real estate is you're going to hear a lot more no's than you're going to hear. This is nothing that you will find is an easy button. Nothing. Okay. Actually, I take that back. Building a team makes it the easy button. Okay. You know what I mean? There's no just like shooting fish in a barrel type of stuff. Okay. So like there's work, there's follow-up, there's building out your systems. All those things come with any business that you're trying to build, that you're wanting to build. So I think that's the biggest crux of this whole thing is like LOI Blaster or any kind of CRM service that makes it easy to send offers and it doesn't produce, oh, well, it was so easy to send 100 offers. Why aren't I getting 100 yeses? Right. So it's kind of a mind trick to get past that second part.
I think that there are easy buttons along the way, but to really close a deal, there's not that easy button. The LOI Blaster, I think that's an easy button. It's so much easier than me writing 100 LOIs and sending those out. So much easier. Getting data from PropStream is an easy button. You could Google agents' phone numbers. You could look for on-market deals, and so PropStream is an easy button. But actually closing the deal is not. There's nothing easy about that. But I would also argue too that if it's easy, is it really worth doing? If it's easy, why isn't everyone doing it? And I think that a lot of people who are new to real estate, and I was this way too when I started to look into real estate, I was like, oh, I'm just going to start to, and this was a long time ago, by the way, but this was like, you send out a fax to somebody and they respond, and then you sell the deal for $10,000. Easy. Why don't I just do that every day? It makes it sound really easy, but there's nothing really easy about it. And I think you're right, though. I think that if you don't it's a volume game. The more no's you get, the closer you are to that yes. And, look, low equity deals, sub-2 low equity deals, it doesn't make sense for some people to do it. It just doesn't. And there's no sense in us trying to convince somebody to do it. And so I think that our job largely is just educating, right? It's like the questions that you had, like how is a VA entitlement affected? How is debt to income? What happens in the case of default? Those big questions that, there are 3 or 4 of them that we all get on every single transaction. But all we have to do is provide the information and then let them decide what's best for them. That's all that we can do.
So for LOI Blaster, your name is on the list of vetted people that people in LOI Blaster can talk to, right? And so they're just calling you saying, hey, what does this look like if we JV? What does it look like if I bring you 100 leads tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, the list that I have on there is freaking short, right?
It is.
It's like 5 people.
Yeah.
And the issue is that I don't want someone brand spanking new helping someone brand spanking new, because buying your way into substitute is not the ticket to, understanding closing deals, right? It takes the reps. So, and I don't want to sit on there and just, tell people how to close deals. I want them to come to you. You're this way. Sorry. I want them to come to you and bring those deals and get taken care of. Right. So I couldn't ask for any better people to be on that list, honestly. So
No, and I think it's smart to have it short. There are a lot of people who are trying to do this business. There are people who are actually doing this business, but I think that the only way that you actually figure out how to do it is actually do it.
yeah.
And I'm not saying just jump both feet in from the start. What I'm saying though is that, and we've talked a lot about this, Myron, there are different issues on every single transaction that we've ever done that are unique to that specific transaction. And I don't think there's been a deal that we've done where there hasn't been an issue that we have needed to solve.
Right.
And, whether it's like a negative escrow situation, or speaking of the devil, there she is.
The devil.
Well, not the devil. You're muted, Don.
The devil? That's
No.
wow.
Gosh.
It's just a phrase. It's just a phrase.
Yeah.
Speaking
of the best partner ever. Don, we were just talking about how every single deal is so different, and we always run into different issues, and you don't really know what you're going to run into until you actually get into it, or title's pulled, or an agent gets involved,
Yeah, I mean, you could even think about it the same way. You could buy the exact same car twice. The exact same car, exact same terms from 2 different people, but each car is going to have its own problems or set of problems. Somewhere down the line, whether it's from the beginning, in the middle, the end, or all the way through, every single car is going to have its own problems. It's not going to run the same. But there's not been one transaction that we've gone through that hasn't had its own set of challenges. And it's insane. It's things that you think you anticipate, but you never can anticipate everything, because everyone responds to things differently. Sellers, agents, buyers, wholesalers, anybody that's part of the transaction, TCs, title companies. You can only anticipate so much. You can only prepare for so much, but it's the experiences that you go through that you compile that really get you set for the next time, right? And how you're going to respond to it. The ultimate goal is to not create more problems, right? If you can help it, let's not create more problems. Let's solve more problems.
Yep. So let me ask you a question. We've been running, I think we started LI Blaster June 3rd is when we officially launched. So it's been about a month and a half. And what's up, Jose? Where are you in Oklahoma?
I'm up in Blue Ridge now. I landed day before yesterday, did laundry, and came up with my pup to Blue Ridge.
Nice.
Yeah. What you were saying? I'll talk about it.
What I was going to ask was, I've been teaching everybody sub-2 deals, right? How to go find sub-2 deals. Would you rather I want to pivot pretty soon to either cash or seller finance. Which one? I only want to pick one right now.
But here's my argument with that, is that something can always turn into something else, right? With low equity, there's not much that you can turn it into. But between seller finance and cash, like if you go after seller finance, then it could always turn into cash.
Okay, so I should do seller finance with option 1 cash, option 2 seller finance.
Because of the complications.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have like, I guess the terms from seller finance, yeah, it's nothing to go to cash.
Now, Myron, is this for your acquisitions company or is this for LOI Blaster?
LOI Blaster. I'm teaching low equity, and basically I'm steering the boat on what people are doing. And so I think people there's just a lot of, we're having complications with just using LOI Blaster, and then it's like, gosh, why don't we just start with like one of the hardest transactions that we can, right? Sub 2.
With non-sub 2 students.
With non-sub 2 students, right? And so I think if we pivot to cash, pivot to seller finance, it's just like it's an easier list. You might get a little bit more traction. Did you want to get on the camera some more?
Well, that's an interesting comment. So Kent just put in the chat. He said, "Thanks for having this convo. This was what was confusing me so much trying to give a cash offer on low equity." Yeah, if it's low equity, they probably can't accept a cash offer because the cash offer is going to have to be so much lower than what they owe on it, right? So you can't do that, right? So hopefully that helps, Kent. If you're doing a full seller finance where maybe someone has higher equity, or if it's a hybrid type deal, or if they're full seller finance where they don't owe anything, then yes, you can absolutely do a cash offer if that's the route they want to go. But you have a little bit more flexibility than you would with low equity, because then more than likely it's going to have to be a sub 2 offer because they can't accept a cash offer. There are some nuts out there that would, depending on their situation, but those are rare. But
one question I used to ask, in fact, to figure out if it was a low equity deal was to say to the agent, for example, "Hey, look, tell me if I'm completely off base here, but if I offer cash, is there any flexibility in the pricing?" And typically the answer was no, they don't have a whole lot of equity. And what I wanted to hear from them was just confirmation from the agent that it is a low equity deal so that I could pivot. That was an easier transition. Oh, well, shoot, if they can't take cash, have you thought about this option, for example? So
Mike's slick. He's got those tips.
Everyone saw through it. It wasn't exactly special, but thank you. But I think back to the point of cash or seller finance. I think that if you're working mostly with non-sub 2 students, I think cash is going to be easier.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, being on that list of closers, if you will, I would love for you to go seller finance. So they need help.
Yeah. Yeah. We're almost done developing that part out to start seller finance. So we'll get that done pretty quick. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that the more options, the better for people.
Mike, what have you all been doing? What are y'all working on? Are you doing cash deals? Are you buying? Are you?
Well, this week has been filled with solving problems. That's what this week was filled with, which probably don't want to get into, Don. But yeah, we brought a new person on our team. We are trying to train him up, and we're kind of seeing where our team goes on a lot of this stuff. I think that we're seeing obviously a lot more people who are looking for low equity sub 2 deals, obviously, which is a good thing for LOI Blaster, especially.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great thing. And so we're focusing on still getting some of those deals. Don and I would love to go cash ASAP. So working on that transition
from going cash right now.
The way that we want to do it is just expensive. It takes lots of money to invest in leads and things like that. So
got it.
We're kind of reallocating resources, basically.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Don's not eating this month is basically what we're
Our goal is to build up our own capital to be able to do our own cash marketing, right? But I don't want to have to give up my first unborn child before, just to do cash. There's another way that we can go about it, then I'd rather try to find that way, which means we're going to be learning a whole lot about doing the hard stuff, right? Versus being able to send massive amounts of marketing out or trying to hire VAs or hire people to make calls and dealing with management of teams. A lot of it may just be learning from other people. Like, hey, I have this type of deal. Let me just pass this along to be that fly on the wall while you go through this process so I can understand it. And then maybe we can do a deal that way. It's going to be a lot of learning for us and building relationships with people so that maybe when we are ready, but not quite ready, and we find one, then we have lots of people that we've met or that we've had conversations with that makes those transactions that much easier, right? So it's kind of
Are you all
our thought
wanting
process.
to do off market, or does it matter to you?
It matters to me. I don't want to do on market cash deals, preferably.
Yeah.
Which is hard for me to see with Mike because he loves talking with agents so much, but that would be preferable.
Yeah.
Got it.
Jose, I want to hear about the Italy trip.
It's a blast. I'm getting ready to make a video about how much better Greece is than the Amalfi Coast. Because the whole time I've heard so much about Amalfi this, Positano that, that's been the dream, right? Go check out Capri, the island. That's where the billionaires are. It's nice. I'm not saying it's not. But it's no Greece. Crazy expensive. Crazy packed with tourists. Transportation's terrible and expensive. Pretty sketchy roads. They're just like really tight around the mountains, and you've got two buses going at each other with a cliff on the side. It gets a little weird. The Amalfi Coast was nice, but I'd give it to Greece any day of the week. And people told me go to Athens for just 2 or 3 days because you're gonna be fine. Like, there's not much to see there. Of course, I go against the grain. I'm like, yes, screw that. I'll take it with a grain of salt and go for it. And I stayed 2 weeks. Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
Athens was amazing. What they're building out there is sick. There's something called the Athens Riviera, and it's from like the city of Athens on the beach all the way down to the tip of Greece at the very southern tip where Poseidon's temple is. Super spiritual, nice spot. But that whole area is just filled with yachts and crazy brand new infrastructure. They moved, like the city of Athens moved their airport, built a whole new airport on the other side so they could develop that coast. And they're just building high rises of condos all up and down the coast. It's going to be like their next Miami, which is going to suck in the future. But at least for right now, like it's coming and it's building. And I started talking to a realtor over there. Slide my SUBTO knowledge into that. I don't know how things work over there, but I would love a little place because I stayed at an Airbnb in Athens and it felt like home. It was just 280 square feet, maybe 320 square feet. Tiny, but it had bedroom, kitchen, living room, spacious, a little nook to eat, your bathroom, and it had an outdoor patio. And I was 30 seconds to the beach on the other side of the street.
How much was it?
Each night was $120.
It's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
In Positano, well, I stayed in Praiano in Italy, right next to Positano. We were at like almost 400 a night.
Yeah, no.
I watch a lot of Below Deck, so I know that Greece is the place to be.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Captain Sandy speaks volumes.
Yeah, if you ever want to, brush up on your reality TV, you just talk with Mike.
I'm good.
He's got you covered.
I do.
Yeah,
Well, it's good. I'm glad you had a good trip.
it was fun. And then I missed my pup so much. I was like, hey, dude, I'm doing laundry and I'm staring at him. I'm like, I don't think a walk around the block is going to do. Let's get the hell out of here. And I took him up. I'm like, we're doing a road trip. Came up to Blue Ridge. It's awesome here.
So are you in the Blue Ridge Mountains?
Yeah.
Are you in North Carolina or Tennessee?
I'm at the very tip of Georgia, on the border of Tennessee,
Got it.
like Blue Ridge proper, the town.
Okay.
hmm
That's awesome. When are you going back?
Monday, so I could take my flight to Montana.
When are you leaving for Montana?
Tuesday.
Damn. I'll be in Orlando next week.
When?
Sunday to Wednesday.
Oh, dude, then let's meet up Monday.
Will you have time? I guess you will, right? Because you'll be back.
I just have to do laundry. I've got plenty of time.
I'm doing a SUBTO meetup at the Orlando World Center Marriott. Whoever wants to come.
Let's announce it. Did you announce it? Did you throw it out there?
He
I
didn't
just
put
did.
it out there on his social. I was just about to say that. He needs to put it on his social media.
I just made it up. So
Someone needs to
give me a
tag
chance.
him. He just needs to put it up there.
Well, let's freaking do it.
This is what Don does for me, by the way. What I do is I say something and then Don just takes care of all the background work.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love it.
Make the poster. I'll share it, and we'll get some 50 people out there.
Okay, cool.
Jose, you
Love
may
it.
have to make it and then send it to him so he can post it himself. Like that may be how that has to go.
Roger, from experience, huh, Don?
Yeah. We're working on how to use stories the right way.
Okay.
So
Cool. I'll tell
get
you.
this. He's doing a good job. I mean, he got a new background. He's been putting up a lot of his YouTube videos and spending hours on AI stuff.
Love it.
Hours. Yeah.
Is that a light bulb with a brain on it?
Uh-huh.
Love it.
That's right.
Cool sign.
Yeah, it's my wife's edition. Apparently, my wife is going to be using my office now. So that's why things had to change.
Wow.
That explains the brain side of the light bulb.
I know, right? That's 100% true. 100% true. Jose, what are you working on? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I got thrown a low equity situation from some guy in West Palm Beach. So I'm looking to, we're basically locked up. We finalized terms this morning. I talked to the agent. Agent was a little sketchy on, what was she sketchy on? The equity portion being paid out at the end. She didn't know if the capital gains were being paid up front or if that was being paid at the balloon when we paid it off, because I'm getting 0% on the equity. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. No payment on that equity, just taking over the loan. And it's a perfect pad split. I've already got the pad split representative that walked it. She said it's great. We'd love to do it for you. And yeah,
Wow.
got all the boxes checked. Feels good to get my first one.
Is it Orlando?
Yeah. Well, no. Sorry. It is Port St. Lucie.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah, pad split hasn't hit that market yet. So there was 3 possible opportunities that were going to open up that market already. That's what she was telling me. And then she was just like, that house, if you put it live, we'll like push everything at it. Like,
Nice.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Only one neighbor, huge driveway, no HOA, 2,300 square feet, and 2019 house.
Oh wow.
So, Jose, I think people are really interested. I think a lot of people think that you can't get a SUBTO deal for no money down, for example. So how did you do that? What's your secret?
There's plenty of money going down on this one. Yeah, but it's not too bad. I couldn't get the agent past 3% commission because she's had this thing for 200 days. And she's just like, the amount of time and the effort that I've taken on this client, she's just like, we've got to do it. The agent is going to give a piece of that 3% over to the seller, which to me, I'm like, I'm just going to give it to them. Do whatever you want with it, I guess. But 15 to the seller, a little piece to the agent. And then I've got to I did the math on the pad split, on the build out, then the furniture. Jimmy Fuentes helped me out with stuff like that. Because him and Javier Paredes, they've been doing a lot of the affordable housing stuff here in Central Florida. So it's going to be my first one. I'm excited. Good but you raise it. I was going to use most of my money, but I'm deciding to raise it because the cash flow is going to be around 2,500 after everything. So I'm going to raise it like half, 30 grand of the down, put my half, and then pay $400 or $500 a month. Still 2,000 cash flow for like 30 grand. I think it's great.
Do
Hey,
it.
it's 90% on your money. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's an awesome scenario. Got that one cooking, and then a couple other ones, little ones. Good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the Craig Ferguson show? Do you guys remember watching that late night Craig Ferguson show?
No.
I've seen it.
He used to do this thing where he'd be like, he'd have someone come on, and at the end he'd say something like, "Should I tell you a joke, or do you want to do an awkward silence?" And so what they would do is they would have this really awkward silence between him and a guest. That's what it sounded like there for about 4 seconds. Just reminded me of the Craig Ferguson awkward silences.
CBS late night show with Craig. Oh, okay.
It's so good. He was the best.
What years were that? Was that on?
Man, 2000s or so, you know,
Not
somewhere
too-
in there.
Not too far.
Because we're in the 3000s now.
I never know what to say about the 2000 and zeros, you know, because you could say the 2000.
Zeros and fives.
I don't know, guys. I'm not the most brilliant person. So
Oh my
Right.
Myron, outside of seller finance and cash, where do you see the LOI Blaster going? How are you guys growing, by the way? Are you guys consistently getting new customers?
Yeah. It's staying pretty consistent on growth. The issue is people get shiny object, right? And so they'll buy it just thinking they don't have to do anything, and they'll realize that they have to do stuff, and they'll cancel, which is fine. But day after day, we have people signing up. Yeah. Growth is pretty good. Obviously, when Pace does an event, it does really
Spikes.
well.
Yeah.
It does a pretty good spike. But I just got access to the Stripe, but I need to figure out how to look at the what's it called, MRR, just all that churn stuff. I need to figure out what the churn is. So I don't have that data.
Do you
Yeah.
think that having a setup fee the way that you guys do is reducing churn?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Because it's not so easy. Like I just dropped, $600 or whatever it is, and just let it go. Right. Like I can figure this out. And we just had a guy post today, which was really cool. He is on like his 8th contract with LOI Blaster. And the last one it's a quadplex that they just made 15 grand on. Right. And he's like, I texted him, I go, dude, great job. And did you get a partner and then you found success, or did you do this all by yourself? He goes, oh no, I got an integrator to help me do this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my biggest push, is like people just want to do stuff on their own. And I'm like, I was the same exact way. So please listen to me. Stop it. Stop it. Right. Snap out of it. Stop trying to do everything by yourself. Get a partner as quick as you can.
Yep.
Like you can literally build a team of 6 people in 1 week inside of this group. Easy. It is easy to build a team. It is hard to do it by yourself. So
I think you also have to change the conversation just slightly, right? Because I think that people want to do it by themselves. Why?
For the
Proof of
game.
concept.
Money. Keep all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
keep
As
all
opposed-
of nothing. Sure.
Exactly.
That's what makes me.
Look, it's human nature, I think, to have that feeling, right? I'm going to do it by myself because I want to keep all the money. The only way that I ever grew was when I brought Dawn on. And I think that any other partner would not have helped me grow nearly as much as Dawn, but just having someone there to help is going to help you grow so much faster.
I agree. I would probably still not have my first deal if it wasn't without Mike and Myron and the Elephant Challenge or challenges like that to push you to have to share. We don't like to share. And I think in business, it's almost like taboo. Sometimes it feels like that we have to share resources because that's what we see. And we, whether it's in social media or we see it in movies or TV shows, it's like, I don't want to share anything because I don't want the competition to do what I'm doing because apparently there's not enough to go around. But in reality, when you do start sharing and you do start giving and you do start, just helping other people is when you really exponentially grow. You don't have just a little growth. It skyrockets. It opens more doors than you ever thought possible and much faster. So much faster. So stop doing it by yourself. Get as many other lone wolves together and see where that takes you. How big your pack can get in order for you to grow.
Yeah. Go get 5 people who are just starting, get them all running your system, and send everything to Mike and Don and Jose. Jose's in LI Blaster, by the way. Thank you for doing that, man.
Yeah.
But
Horace is close to a good one. Horace is close to a good one.
huh?
One of the guys. He's pretty close on our deal. He's been sending a bunch of leads. And I'm like, damn, I feel bad because he's doing it. It just takes time. It's a numbers thing.
So build your team, get 5 or 6 brand new people, get them all rolling.
Yep.
Mike, Don, Jose, they'll tell you exactly where to go, how to pull the list, where they want deals. Just go get the deals and send them to them. Then you have, that's my big push this week. And next week is just like, go squat up. And so instead of like 3 or 4 people working with Jose, it should be like 15. It should be another elephant challenge, like all over. Just there's like a decently solid lead gen behind it.
Yeah. Well, and I think most people are like, well, I don't want to bother you. I'm like, you can never bother me when it's about getting you to where you want to go or if there's a deal involved, right? The other way you bother me, which is not really a bother at all, but to them it does. It's more of when you say you're going to do something and you don't, right? You say you're going to show up and you don't. Or you're like, hey, here's a list. I'm like, no, I'm not calling your list. You have to do some level of work so you can learn that skill. And then where you get stuck is where we come in, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Like, we're not going to do the work for you. We've already done our work, right? We've already been in that position. Now it's your turn. Now this is where you have to pass the baton off to other people that are better or smarter than you, right? Or have experienced that before. So don't skip the work part and never feel like you're bothering somebody that's saying, I'm here. My hand is right here. All you got to do is grab it. I'm not going to force you to grab it, but I'm here.
Yeah.
So
we wouldn't be on places like this, on YouTube, on Zoom. We'd like offering up, we'd just be quiet and run our own business. There's so many people that get so sucked into Zooms and being live and being present. Like, there's so many people in SUBTO that are high level and you've never heard of them. Completely doing their own thing, and they're super successful, and they don't even touch SUBTO anymore.
Yeah.
No posting, no nothing. So we're here to help, is what I'm trying to say.
I do want to mention before we drop the subject that if you guys want to learn about Dawn's first deal, go to YouTube. She has a great video with Pace Morby.
Oh yeah.
And I would love all you guys to watch it.
Yes.
Down.
I couldn't believe that they sent that out this morning.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
I gotta go find it.
It's so good. Yeah, if we can put it in the comments, that'd be great.
On it right now.
Hey, did you guys know that Elon Musk has a son named Techno Machinus Musk?
Is that how you pronounce it?
What a transition.
No, it's
Well-
funny because it's a tab that I have open here. It's Techno Mechanicus
Huh.
Musk.
If you didn't know, people thought that Mike is Elon Musk. It happened on Halloween, I think. He went out and he goes, "It's you." He was at a
ACL.
gas station.
ACL.
Oh yeah.
You could do it.
Yeah.
You could
I was
pass
like,
off.
"Were you wearing a leather jacket? A black leather jacket?"
Like, first of all, if I was Elon Musk, I would not be around people like you. I would be in my private. I'd be on the stage.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Man.
So, okay, so LOI blast, the evolution is going to be to seller finance and cash. Now, the cash, are you going to encourage people to go to PropStream, still pull data, maybe like aged data with equity? Is that the idea?
What's the name of Don's video?
It I don't know. He blasted it out this morning in an email.
Oh. I was looking on YouTube.
Yeah. I thought I was in trouble, by the way, when I opened this. I was like, oh God.
In an email. Damn. It went everywhere.
Let me see.
Hey, Don, I don't think that was for you specifically. I think that our names were just inserted into the email.
No, I know that. I just wasn't sure. I was like, at first I wasn't sure why this was being sent out. I was like, who is this sent to? But I think it was just to everybody. So,
Nice.
There we go. Got it. Yay.
Here. So, with rates dropping a little bit, are you guys seeing that? Are you guys pulling Myron tighter interest rate data? Or are you expanding it still?
It depends on the market. Like Florida, are you talking about equity or interest?
I'm curious about both, actually.
I try to stay below 5, and Florida, I'd go up to 35%. Everywhere else, I'd stay a little bit lower. Myself, I pull 35% because it's hybrids that don't scare me at all anymore. So, but people are still having trouble with selling houses. Like Jose just said, there's 200 days on market or whatever. So
Yep.
People are still struggling. But the cash campaign, this is what I'm thinking. Let me know your thought. Is to pull tired landlords.
I've never had success with it.
Really?
So
Tired
on
landlords.
market, tired landlords.
On market tired landlords. And do seller finance cash. Or
would
cash
you
seller finance.
would you include absentee owners in that tired landlord?
Yeah.
See, that worked. Absentee owners did.
Yeah.
Isn't basically the same, but tired landlords is just own longer.
I
I'm
feel like
so
it-
used to different platforms categorizing it in different ways. So in my mind, I keep it a little separate.
So those would be great opportunities for seller finance, right? If I'm a seller, a landlord who's sick of managing a management company or even managing the property myself, but I like the cash flow, why not seller finance to somebody?
Yeah.
I think the theory makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't have to pay taxes on the selling price of cash sometimes. So I have the choice. Do I want to get a lump sum and get cash, or do I want to continue making cash flow and not have to pay taxes or capital gains?
Yeah. So that was my thought process behind it. Is they're already getting mailbox money, so just continue getting mailbox money, except you don't have to do any maintenance anymore or all this stuff. So That's what I was going to teach in LI Blaster. So we do tired landlords plus absentee owners, right?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Cool.
Yeah, I love that idea. Would you guys prefer do you guys have a preference on getting a sub-2 deal, for example, or a seller finance? Would you prefer one versus the other?
Seller
Hmm.
finance. Seller finance.
Yeah.
You don't,
No
not the-
lender.
yeah,
That's
no
gonna.
lender. Too much
Well, no-
headache. You have
yeah.
to tiptoe on glass, or you could just walk barefoot. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Seller finance for sure.
I like it.
That's a good question, because if you go to the Sub2 Facebook page, what's the I don't want to say percentage, but what's the percentage of Sub2 deals versus seller finance deals? Sub2 is like way higher, right? But
Yeah.
and I think that's just because of motivation. Like people who have low equity, despite how many offers you've made and how many no's that you've got, there's more Sub2 deals out there. So maybe we just need to push seller finance harder and develop stuff around making those offers.
Yeah.
Then it will turn.
I also think too that sub-2 is sort of like the current shiny object as well in a lot of ways. Like
Yeah.
people want to know how to learn. They want to learn how to do a sub-2 deal, right? Pace has done a great job of talking about sub-2 deals. And, seller finance, it was hands down here. Everyone wants to do a seller finance compared to a sub-2.
Yeah.
Everybody, right? So, it leaves some open ground for seller finance deals if everyone's going for low equity, for example, or tighter hybrid deals.
Yeah.
It's also the timing of the market too, right? Like Sub2 deals, you can do it any market, no matter what. But I think the way the market is currently, there could be more of an uptick of people wanting to do those transactions versus maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, right? It wasn't as like the first strategy that people went to, right? I think, but right now, since interest rates are so high and payments are so high, it's like, well, I don't want to have to go and qualify conventionally or traditionally through a lender. I can just go and capture someone else's interest rate and payment. That's amazing, right? So I think the market also dictates the volume in which it's done, right? And no one's saying that none of us, because we want to do seller finance does not mean that we don't think Sub2 is great. Sub2s are awesome, especially if you're the buyer. But there's also other strategies that can be done just as well without as much risk either for both sides. So it's just a matter of what it is you're trying to accomplish, and then, what do you want to deal with?
Is there a way on PropStream to filter for seller carryback?
Mm-hmm.
Is there?
There is. I learned it. Learned it from Kevin Cho.
Sold.
Who?
Kevin Cho.
Who?
Little brother.
Not ringing a bell.
No.
The man.
It was
So
pretty
he's-
interesting. It'll filter it out, and then you have to do a little bit more filtering once you get a CSV file. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Look into it. Oh, question for you guys. I really badly want to hit the foreclosure list, but my hang up has always been I hate skip tracing, because most of the time I spend half of that money on garbage information. There's a lot of people coming out with better data. That's always been mentioned. What would you say is the best strategy to go for these foreclosure lists to actually get people on the line? Other than door knocking, I know you go back to basics, 100%.
That's what my answer was.
Yeah.
No, that's what's next.
You gotta knock the doors, but yeah.
No, to do it at scale virtually. Is there?
The best skip tracer I have seen, and I haven't used all of them, is Best Skip. Not a joke. It's called Best Skip Tracer.
I'm like, really? That simple?
Let me see here.
It's pretty bad of their SEO though. If you put in best skip tracer and that wasn't the first one that popped up because
Yeah,
it's in their name.
And best.com looks Korean.
Best Skip Tracer is like a polar bear website, and they will skip LLCs. So you can put LLCs in there, and they'll give you, you know, whatever the contact info is for that LLC. Deep skip tracing has always been Skip Genie for me, and it's not something you would bulk. So it's not really a bulk service. They have bulk service, but it's not great. You would have to one by one. So I would bulk with Best Skip, and then if it's wrong, to have somebody go to Skip Genie and pull that. You can also, Skip Genie will give you like everybody who's left that address and their relatives for every skip trace.
Okay.
How does that work though? If they're good on a singular or a couple or one at a time, but they're not very good at bulk, why is that different?
Because the bulk only gives you one contact.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it every one by one, it gives you like a full.
Oh, I see.
Like you can get 40 phone numbers from one skip trace with Skip
Got
Genie.
it. So you're capped on the amount of contacts you get if you do bulk, which is one, but if you do one by one, you get however many there are, multiple. Got it.
Have you guys ever used REI Sift?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The concept is kind of similar, right? It's like start at the top with less expensive bulk skip tracing and then kind of filter that down. And the ones that you need to, deep skip trace or, really kind of invest some money and time into are really some of the better leads, right? Because not everyone's doing that. It's sort of like a lot of people are looking for the least expensive skip tracer, which, makes sense sometimes, right? But they stop there. And you just don't get the best data that way. So Skip Genie, Best Skip Tracer.
Michael Frankie's working on a awesome system that I got a feeling like I'm on the wait list for that thing. Michael Frankie's awesome with foreclosures. He's built a lot of his business on it.
It's a system to
Data.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
What kind of data?
Foreclosure.
Just nationwide.
Yeah, I think he's selecting certain states.
What if you were to pair up with a local agent in the markets that you're choosing to work in and have those people do some of the actual boots on the ground type of work?
Much slower pace. Your outreach is not as much, but it's definitely an option. I don't see why not.
What you could do is let's say you want to go to Charlotte, for example. You could contact 3 or 5 agents and be like, look, I'm going to give you guys a list. The first person to go see it takes that off the list. It's like, that's their lead. Just so you have some sort of, because like you said, Jose, you want to make sure that the work is being done and you don't slow down the process. But, to the point earlier, door knocking is going to be the most tactile way of getting in front of people, right?
But it's also the same thing with like skip tracing. You can go the cheap route or you could go the expensive route. You're going to have to find an agent that has done foreclosures before or knows their shit as far as like giving them options. You're going to have to get a door knocker that it's not their first time and they're falling on their face like before they even hit the first knock, sweating, dripping bullets. Like you got to find which way you want to go about it. If you're okay with the amount of leads that you have, let's say it's 5,000 leads in a town. Okay, then yeah, maybe you can afford to lose a few. But if you really niche down to a certain amount of leads and now you've only got 20 and they're precious, do you really want to just throw anybody at it?
Yep.
So you got to vet your people also. Again, I mean, you're saving the cost of skip tracing, but you're also, I'm sure they're not going to knock the door for free. They're going to want a percentage.
I met some people here in Dallas that have, 40 VAs, like big operations. That to me is a big operation.
Mhm.
He would skip trace with batch, and then he would skip trace with not prop stream. Dang it. I can't remember what it was anymore. He'd skip trace with something else. And then, so he'd skip trace like 3 times. And he'd put it into REI Sift, and it doesn't, it filters out all your doubles and all that stuff. So then he'd take like the highest score numbers, and that's what he put his VAs on. So it'd be like, I'm sorry, he would put it in REI Sift, then he would skip trace. So it'd be like 3 stack and higher, which means if it's on three lists, like foreclosure, tax liens, and high grass, I don't know, whatever the 3 lists are. And he'd skip trace all of those, send them to his VAs, and whatever they couldn't get a number on, they would send it back to Skip Genie, right? And have somebody just set to go tag one by one. But he's like, typically with 3 skip tracers, I'm going to get a number. That's good. If I don't, or if no numbers come up, those are the Skip Genie, like we'll call grandma, we'll call their sister or whatever like that. So,
Good to know.
obviously the best is agents and door knocking. Door knocking is like just freaking number 1, man. But dude, we when we first started, we were door knocking, or Carolyn really was. And she's like, I went to a house in Rowlett, which is a little suburb, and it was not brand new, but like not even 5 years old. Beautiful house, 2-story, 4-bedroom, nothing wrong with it. Foreclosure was coming up on Tuesday, but it was vacant. Like they just left the house. Couldn't door knock it. Just no one lived there. They wouldn't answer their phone, can't door knock it. What do you freaking do? We talked to the neighbors. Sometimes it's just freaking dead end. But
Yeah.
it's crazy. Lonzo was telling me today they helped somebody get their first deal like 6 months ago. It was a foreclosure in California. They were $100,000 behind in payments, and they had over $100,000 worth of equity. So they
Past
closed.
the payments.
Huh?
Beyond the payments?
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. So they catch it up, and it's like even doing that, you have another 100,000. They had a bunch of equity, so they fixed it up and sold it, and that was someone's first deal. They fixed and flipped it, listed it, and the guy's first deal was $20,000.
Heck yeah.
Whoa.
I was like, dang, that's a lot better than mine.
That's why I'm shooting at foreclosures, honestly.
Yeah.
They're going to start coming big time in September.
Why do you say that?
September? There's just not okay. Let's put the low equity situation on top of agents not being able to sell this. Even with the market dipping a little bit, who's going to really want to take the time? Now it's going to like here in the fall, who's going to take the time to fix a property up and potentially have it ready to sell during the holidays?
Right. They're just going to let it go.
They're just going to let it go. Or vice versa, an investor that goes and grabs it. If it's not discounted enough, they're just going to let it. They're going to be like, no, forget it. We're not going to touch it. Those are all sub-2 opportunities with a ton of equity. You could just grab them.
So it's just a foreclosure list, to pull.
Yeah. And then you take the option if you want to do, because you really don't know the situation. on
Right.
those. So you can do the option of cash cash seller finance or sub 2.
Dope.
I
love
also
it.
I also see like foreclosures being even more prominent from now on or September on because where were interest rates, right? Super high. People can only sustain that for so long. And things change. Businesses change. They get new jobs. They have to move. Whatever the situation may be for them, I think it's much like what's happening with multifamily. They had to buy and they bought really high. And then now there's a lot of turnover happening in multifamily and it's coming. I think the same thing is going to happen with foreclosures over the next, 18 months probably until rates really start to hopefully come down, but we just don't know yet. I don't think they're ever going to come back down to 2 or 3%, but stabilizing back down, but somewhere between 4.5 and 6% would be ideal. But even still, how many people have bought between now and 2022 at a higher interest rate that can't sustain it? And we're going to run into a lot more issues with that.
Yep.
Well, in the commercial market, especially, right? You mentioned multifamily. All those loans that were taken out during COVID or pre-COVID, 2018, 19, and 20, those are typically really long-term amortization loans, but there's a balloon payment on those typically. And so, when those are coming due, typically around the 5, 6, 7 year mark on some of them, and those are either due or let's say that it's some sort of an adjustable, which is less common, but those are going to adjust to the max based on the interest rates right now. And,
That's
the
really
ones,
good.
no, I was just going to say the ones that do have balloon payments, the issue now is that, where is that equity, right? They probably bought with an idea of, keeping cap rates low, right? The problem is that cap rates aren't nearly where they used to be. So, where's their equity coming from?
When I first met you, Myron, and that's the reason I wanted to get into multi was because I had a feeling that was the 3-year mark coming up for the bridge loans.
Mm-hmm.
Never really happened, or it did, and it wasn't at the large scale that I thought. But now to Mike's point, let's say these do have balloons, we're kind of there, that 5-6 year mark after 2019. So whether it's the bridge or the balloon, one of them is going to hit really soon.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, but like, I'm kind of stuck on this because like, what do you do? Are you going to go get a loan? How are you going to get them out of it? Right. So that's kind of where I'm stuck is they're stuck. I don't know. So like, does it underwrite? So if you go get a new loan to get them out of their loan, if you go get a new loan, is it going to make sense? Because it's going to be the same. You're going to put yourself in the same pot, in my opinion. Maybe I don't know well enough.
Most of those properties, weren't they renovated a little bit anyways by now? So the appraised value should have gone up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
The 5-year mark is to appraise out.
Yeah.
But they're not able to because they're not able to. No one's taking those loans.
Yeah. Let's say they bought at a 4 cap. Now cap rates, call it 8.
Yo, talk Florida numbers.
Yeah. What are those? I have no idea what those even are.
Miami was selling at negative caps, 0 caps, 2 cap. Like,
I didn't know that existed.
it was like,
Yeah. How does that even work?
Miami was people were buying upside down because of what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, think about what's going to happen with the small banks too. Provide these loans. That's where all the small banks, if you're not a big bank, if you're a small bank who's providing these loans, that's a tough position to be in. But I think that's also where these big investment firms, REITs, hedge funds right now, or if you're cash rich, that's when you can start to buy these deals. It's not going to make sense from a financial perspective to go to your local community bank and get a loan.
Yeah.
You're going to get the same terms that they're trying to get out of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I would do now, Jose, is assume or sub 2 multifamily.
Yeah.
And no variable rates. It just have to be flat rates. Assume those and take it over. Bring new capital into it. Yeah.
So those would have to be situations that what are just bridges and not actual balloons. Because if they're balloons, they're kind of dead ducks. What are we taking over?
I would try for, if you can. It depends with the bridges. Yeah, no balloon.
Right? No
What is
balloons.
the bridge? What did they take out for the bridge? Can you raise that money to pay that off and just take over their 3% loan or whatever it was?
How do you filter for bridges?
Do you want that answer?
Yes.
I got it.
Privately?
Yeah, I'll text it.
Okay.
I got you. Actually, I'll text her. I'll text you.
Okay.
I got it. It costs money though.
It better. I hope it's free. Then everybody's going to do it.
It costs money to pull that list.
Good.
But I figured it out.
Yeah,
You know what I really want to do? I actually already built it, but I want to build something that has just on market multifamily data, just like actually have it ready to go, just on market multifamily, pull the list, send out offers, like super easy, click buttons, send multifamily offers, just whatever's on the market. But it's not, like people are still, people need what they need, sellers need, they, especially with an agent involved, right? And they see that $1 million mark or $3 million mark, that's what they need. And negotiating off of a loan is very hard, in my opinion, because they just can't move. And it's not like working with an agent and a seller is like, hey man, I'll give you $5,000. And that's an easy sale to me. Sub 2 for seller finance, single family, sub 2 for single family versus a multifamily who has maybe done, have 20 investors also that they're trying to make whole is a hard deal to get out of, right? And if you were the GP on that and you had to call, and you had to accept that offer and call your investors like, hey, you're not getting your money back. That's a hard phone call. No one wants, they'll do everything in their power to not make that phone call. So I'm with you. I think there's a lot of pain there, but people are still needing their exit, at least to break even.
How are brokers going to react to a blast like this?
The list is not that big, and it's going to be like a beta release. I'm not going to release this to 600 people. I want to beta release it and work with a select few people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
seller finance family, just
like 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to getting out of hand either.
No, brokers can light you up, man. I don't know if you call a lot of brokers, but they know how to light people up. Yeah.
Well, I think part of the issue too is when you get into these bigger deals, right? Martin, you're talking about the LOI blaster clientele being mostly non-sub 2 people. You're going to find a lot of sub 2 people who are very well versed in large multifamily, for example, or other commercial deals. But I think it's very easy in commercial to get over your head. Very, very easy. It's a whole different ballgame.
It's over my head. So
look, I used to do it. It's over my head. It's way over my head. I realized really quickly that it's a whole different level of education. So, I think people look at big numbers, they say, I want to do it, but then you get into it and that broker who's been in the business for 30 years is going to light them up, just like you said.
Yeah. Plus, like if you get a multifamily under contract, it's not just like, oh, I'll go manage that 30 unit by myself. Bro, no, you are not. No, you are not.
You said 30?
No.
I know people can't do 4 or 6.
Can't do 1.
Yeah.
Like they get so upset with just 1 unit or 1 tenant they have to deal with, and then multiply that by 30. No.
Some people are made for it. Like the one we bought that 40 unit in Knoxville, and the dude had everybody's key on his keychain. The keychain was this big and had all the keys on it,
Shit.
right? And he knew everybody's name. He didn't have one gray hair. I'm like, this dude is built for this. My hair, I'd be bald, man. I'd be done. I couldn't do that. And he just like, no, that's Angela. She da 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 da. You know. Like knows everything about everybody's business. And that's not the only 40 unit he had there. He's probably, 300 units in that market. So some people are built for that. And
It's impressive.
I don't even want to mow the lawn. I don't want to fix a toilet. Nothing. Just we'll raise the money. I'll find the deal, raise the money, and then someone else needs to operate that stuff, man. But so that's why I worry about like releasing tools like that make stuff too easy for everybody to just do. Yeah.
Well, maybe now's a good time to talk about the Power Rangers acquisition fund that we're putting together, right? Where we can all purchase large multifamily as a group.
I'd be interested here in Dallas for sure. Obviously, but in Texas, except for Houston.
Why not Houston?
From what I know, the insurance has all but tripled for that market, or if not tripled in price, unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Steadily or any insurance broker freaking about Texas. Like Texas is just hard in general, but Houston is everybody's actually pulling out of that market. And if you go quote a 20 unit down there, it's going to ruin the deal. You're not going to cash flow just because of insurance costs. Florida, about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Florida market's done about the same. It's right. Jose's insurance not tripled out there.
Yep, exact same scenario. But I feel like New Orleans and Houston are the only cities that are major cities that are below sea level. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
So I think that has to do with triple. What's that? Houston what?
Flood zones.
Yeah.
So Texas, North Texas, interested.
Yeah.
What other markets would be good for multifamily, do you think, right now?
What's that?
What other markets do you think would be good for multifamily?
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. Myrtle Beach is, yeah. Myrtle Beach, Arizona, obviously. We do anything in Arizona.
North Carolina?
Yeah. I wouldn't wholesale Carolinas, but we would buy there.
So I understand wholesale in South Carolina for sure. Why not in North Carolina?
I just, okay. I don't want to structure my business. I just feel like that's just coming for that area. So I'm just going to not run my business out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's sandwiched between Virginia and South Carolina. So I get that.
Wasn't there another state that just follows suit from South Carolina? Like just a couple weeks ago. Before I left, I heard about it.
Indiana? Maybe?
I think it was either I don't think it was Illinois, but it had to be Indiana, I think.
Illinois is already there.
Well, you can do one.
I don't want to do just one.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Trump's ear being shut off, or should we just end it?
I feel like that would probably be a taboo thing to talk about. But it was shocking nonetheless. Ish. What's everybody doing this weekend?
Hiking.
Man,
Jose, what kind of dog do you have?
Staffordshire Terrier.
Oh, a Staffy. I had one. I've had multiple actually. I love Staffies. Yeah, I love Staffies.
So obedient, crazy smart.
They are Yeah.
athletic as hell.
And loyal as hell.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, like right now, completely off leash, no collar, no nothing. People are like, whoa, he's well behaved.
We
Like,
had,
I'm scared.
we had one called Tank, and he was just one big muscle. I mean,
One muscle
it was just like this muscle blob.
with legs.
It was literally like a tank.
Does anybody want a spastic golden retriever? You can have him. Love him to death. But I've never seen a golden retriever have this much energy. Oh my gosh.
Cute dog.
Aww.
He wants to
He's-
get out.
He's big.
Yeah, he's pretty big, 68 pounds.
Yeah, it's a big staffy. What about you, Myron? What are you up to?
Tomorrow is kind of day off, chill day. And Sunday I'm doing one-on-ones for a bunch of people. And yeah, that's about it. Probably just chill.
Did you guys go to Great Wolf this weekend? This past
did-
weekend?
No, we went to what's it called? Great Wolf? We went to
Gaylord?
Gaylord. Yeah.
It's right by Grey Wolf.
Yeah, they're across the street.
Is that the water park?
Yeah, Great Wolf
Okay.
has the indoor water park.
It's hell on earth. It's hell on earth.
Indoor? No, we didn't go to the indoor. We went to the outdoor one that comes
That's
with the hotel.
I think they both have a water park, but Great Wolf's is on the inside.
Okay, we did not do that.
Yeah. It is a pretty cool place, by the way. Have a stay vacation there, but Mike's like, heck no.
No.
But it's pretty neat. But the Gaylord, we used to go to the Gaylord a lot for the ice show around Christmas when they do the ice statues. It's insane.
Yep, they already have material or advertising up for it. It's Rudolph this year, by the way.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
That'd be
Sunday
cute.
wants to go.
It's a must. You have to go. That's who it was, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I heard they changed theirs as well.
This was a big topic on wholesale hotline.
Yep.
That was a good man. I'm like, now that Jerry's on there, it's like a freaking $10,000 mastermind every time I'm on that call.
I was just gonna say, it's like so much free knowledge.
It is freaking dope. I love it.
And then Jerry put on his stories I saw while I was gone. I forgot where I was, but I'm reading through his stories and he's like, yeah, I just wholesaled in South Carolina. Who gives a shit? Like, what?
He did.
Figured out a way how to do it.
He said that, or it was reposting someone.
No, it was him.
Dang.
Yeah.
One of the best wholesale hotlines was when they were talking about the South Carolina rules, and the guy and the I guess he's an attorney or something who is really a big proponent of these new wholesaling rules. I won't give away anything, but it's one of the best wholesale hotlines. I started texting Don pace lines that he was saying
Oh, yeah.
during that. It was so good.
Yeah. Pace like went off, I think, during that. Like he was on a roll. And we're going back and forth, like, wait, what just happened? I was like, let me hop on. And I hopped on. I was like, whoa. But yeah, it was one of the better ones for sure. So
Nice.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, put it in the group chat. I want to see that.
Do you remember what day it was?
I'll find it. It was about a month ago.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll find it.
I think it was like shortly after the change happened in South Carolina. Maybe not that first week, but the second week or so afterwards. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, the wholesale hotline has been awesome. And Jerry's such a good dude.
To be clear, Jerry wouldn't do anything illegal. So I'm sure
No.
he said he found a loophole. So it was a loophole. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So cool, man. There's always ways around things.
Always. Mike, what are you doing this weekend?
Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
I'm doing a meetup tomorrow in New Braunfels. So if you're in San Antonio, Austin, New Braunfels area, please come.
Okay.
Let's see. Then I'm flying to Orlando to hang out with Jose.
You got the meetup in Orlando on Monday.
That's right. I have a meetup on Saturday tomorrow, and then a meetup on Monday in Orlando.
What
You
time?
posted about them both on your social media, right?
Yeah, I
At
will.
Mike Jackson SUBTO, right? Is that where I go to see your post?
That's where you go to see the post. Yeah, this is recorded and aired later, right? So I have
Correct.
time to
Mhm.
do. Great.
Yeah. He made the post in sub too. He's going to put it on his Instagram shortly.
That's right. That's exactly right. I found the wholesale hotline here. Let's see. Gosh, this one was so good.
Yeah, if you guys aren't watching the wholesale hotline, you should definitely be going. Like, if not just to hang out, to get some of the information you need, because sometimes there's things that I still learn when I go back on there, for sure. So it's anytime you can jump in there, or maybe you're on a flight and you can listen to it, I would. Like, whenever you can jump in, do it. It's a master class every week.
Dude, it's so good.
Don, what are you doing this weekend?
I am still on cool aunt duty. So we're going to be hanging out. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much over the weekend. If it does, we might be riding scooters in the rain or going hanging out at the park and
Still fun.
having fun doing a slip and slide out in the backyard. You know,
Yeah.
Did you guys get rain yesterday? We had
Briefly.
terrible storms yesterday.
very briefly.
Oh yeah. Briefly, you're right.
Like, and it was like a sprinkle for 5 minutes and then it just died.
We had terrible storms. It was the day to happen too, because I accidentally punched a massive hole in the outside of wall of my house. So it was the wrong day to have a massive storm.
How do you punch it? Never mind.
I'll tell you on Monday, Jose.
Yeah. Forget it.
I'll tell you at the meetup.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was fun.
Good one.
It always is. Great to see you guys.
We're going to be doing it next week too, or is everybody going to be at community camp? Is anybody going to community camp here?
I am
Jose?
not.
Yeah, Jose is. It's okay. It's fine.
Jose, have a blast, bro.
Yes, it's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
We're all jealous.
And I got day with pace right after, so I have to stay 10 days basically.
Wait, when's your week?
The first.
Oh, okay. Mine's the week after.
Yep. On the
Yeah.
first. So I'll be staying a few days after community.
Okay. Well, have a great time, man. And watch Mike when you guys meet up. Just keep an eye on him. Don't let him go anywhere.
I don't want to be involved with certain things that he does.
You don't want to be responsible.
No.
It'll be fine. We'll get through it.
Be well. Enjoy your weekend.
All right,
You
guys.
guys too.
Happy weekend. See you guys
everybody.
later.
We'll probably see you all next Friday. I'll go ahead and schedule it out just so we have it. So put it on your calendars for next Friday's talk with the SUBTO Mastermind leaders.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. Bye, guys.